Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Season Keepers, the show where the only two people we recommend keeping for the season is us. My name's Matt, aka Clean Sheet Wipeout.
My name's James, aka FPL Drug.
How you doing, mate?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, for those that have probably seen Twitter, this is the second time we're recording this, so we do apologise, but we're going to get straight into things, cover off the FPL fixtures, and then fire away at the end. So, first things first, James. Man City 5, Arsenal nil.
Yeah, what a game. Arsenal actually surprisingly started fairly well in this one. Played fairly well for the first 5 to 10 minutes. But then, yeah, Jesus came down the wing, putting a peach of a cross for Gundogan, who scored a great header.
He did,
And
yeah.
kind of unfolded from there, really.
Yeah, very much so. Comfortably beat Callum Chambers at the back there. And yeah, from that point on, as you say, I thought Arsenal started well. After that, kind of fell apart. Ferran Torres got himself 2 goals and an assist. Even Rodrigo got a goal, and what a goal it was.
Yeah, great goal from Rodri. Curled it in, like, not Roberto Carlos style, but almost.
Yeah, it was
Um,
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic performance all round from City. I think pretty much all the midfielders or attackers got returns, be it an assist or a goal. Very polished. I think they could have had more, to be honest.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think FPL wise, the worry for me would be this constant rotation. Obviously, we saw Mahrez and Sterling both rotated, and this one didn't start. Both came on. Mahrez got the assist there, but I think out of the lot of them, the only one I'd really want to touch at the moment is Ferran Torres.
Yeah, Farron I mean, he's so cheap that even with rotation, I think he's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus has been delivering at the moment, and he's fairly cheap. He's like 8.5, probably risen to 8.6 now. But yeah, those two are the ones that I'd like to look at.
Yeah, agreed. And obviously, we're now recording after the transfer window is shut, and Man City did not sign a striker. So the likes of Ferran Torres could be really good options moving forward. As for Arsenal, bottom of the league. What's going on?
Yeah, bottom of the league. Spurs are the top. It's not great viewing for Arsenal fans. Yeah, it's not looking pretty, and I kind of already regret that Ben White pick. We're all screaming at how much of a bargain he was at 4.5, but if he's
Yeah.
probably never going to keep a clean sheet, it's a bit dodgy.
Exactly. I guess, looking at Arsenal's fixtures moving forward, now is the time that we want them to start performing. The fixtures have turned. If they don't perform now, then we're going to have to get rid. But yeah, I'm going to hold Ben White. Right, moving on then. I think the next game, Aston Villa 1, Brentford 1.
Now, from an FPL point of view, I love this game. I had three different people return.
I bet you did, mate.
Brenzier and Tony both eagerly awaiting their return. So delighted to see them both score. And obviously, Danny Ings getting yet another return with the assist for Buendier's goal. I mean, they both fell in price as well, did Buendia and Tony.
They
So
did,
there's
yeah.
an argument there to be patient and not react to the price changes as it is tempting. You see someone's got projected to fall, you're not really sure if you're happy with them. It kind of gives you the extra push to take them out, and obviously you're kicking yourself if you take them out and then they score. It kind of happened to me with Havertz, as we'll
Yeah,
come on to later, to
yeah,
be
it did.
honest.
I think you make a great point because I've saw discussions. Obviously, wildcard is at the forefront of all discussions in the FPL community at the moment, and a lot of people are wildcarding early on the basis of trying to catch these price rises and price drops. But yeah, perfect example here. Buendia and Tony, as you said, both dropped in price, both got a goal for you. So had you tried to chase those price drops and brought someone else in, you may well have brought, say, a Ben Rama. Didn't return this week, so yeah, I think you did very well to hold on to them. Moving on to a fixture in which I actually thought Brighton would do a little bit better in, but it ended up being Brighton nil, Everton 2.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise. Fairly comfortable for Everton in this one. Obviously, the pen was a bit controversial with Richarlison trying to take it off DCL. I mean, I hate it when players do this. It just winds me up.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before, haven't we? And I think it's so petulant, to try and take the ball off your teammate in that situation when quite clearly it's probably been, transcribed to the players at the beginning of the game. If there's a penalty in this match, DCL takes it first. And Benitez even came out and said that that is the situation. So yeah, for Richarlison to put that additional pressure on Calvert-Lewin, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, not a team player really.
No, not at all. The other player that we've spoken about on the previous pod, Demarai Gray, obviously got himself another goal. I think 5.6 million now. He's at a price rise. Unbelievable value in my opinion.
Yeah, great option at that price point. We're seeing a few floating around, and I think the likes of him, Sarr, even Sissoko, are cheap enablers for people's teams. Obviously, people are going to try and get old CR7 in.
Yeah, we'll come on to it, won't we?
Money.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, yeah, that was one of the big talking points of the transfer window, and yeah, we'll finish up with Man United, but the likes of Demarai Gray, I think we're going to have to potentially start looking at, downgrading, say, a Harvey Barnes to a Demarai Gray, frees up, 1.4 million, and that could make all the difference.
Certainly can.
All right, moving on to a game that no doubt had both of our hearts racing and, cursing a lot. It was Newcastle 2, Southampton 2.
Yeah, bit of a thriller, this one. Obviously, the end was quite dramatic.
Yeah. Don't tell me.
Getting what he thought was the winner for Newcastle, only for us to go up and attack the other end. Armstrong gets fouled. Obviously, it doesn't get given initially, but then VAR comes in, and you can rightly see that he was fouled.
Yeah.
Prowsey, fair play to him. Cool as a cucumber, slotted it away.
Yeah, no, I was fuming when it wasn't given initially. I was like, that's clearly a penalty.
Yeah,
and obviously,
exactly.
I don't understand how the ref didn't call that one on pitch. But yeah, thankfully, that's what VAR is there for. I suppose the main two talking points from Southampton's perspective in this was the fact that El Yunusi and obviously Walker Peters both got starts after their performances in the midweek kind of 8-0 thriller. And El Yunusi played very well, got himself his first Premier League goal. And obviously, we have to note that Carl Walker-Peters played left-back. So Livramento obviously held his position as right-back. And Walker-Peters took Perot's spot in there. And again, thought he performed amicably. So it's almost as if Perot is the one that's fighting with KWP for that spot. We've seen him play there before for Tottenham. So those with Livramento, I've taken the punt myself now. I think probably one of the right decisions. And at 4.1 now, absolute bargain if he's going to keep his place there.
Yeah, cheap as chips. Could have had an assist. I mean, Shinepo really should be putting that chance away.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, another enabler alongside, I guess, the likes of Duffy is also 4.1 at Brighton. Yeah. Great value picks.
Yeah, it's good. Like we always kind of come across these 4.0s to start with, and it's about finding them. And I think there's 2 or 3 in the game at the moment, so it's quite helpful. Particularly again, as you've noted about saving money. As for Newcastle, obviously Saint-Maximin was one that was almost comically spoken about pre-season. A lot of people slated. What was the name of the lad?
Chuck Booth.
That's it, Chuck Booth. Yeah, obviously he noted Saint-Maximin. People questioned him, but he's done all right so far, hasn't he? He's got himself a goal and an assist in 3 games. I mean, for that Newcastle squad and the fixtures they had, it's not too shabby for 6.5 million.
No, yeah, but unfairly criticised was that guy.
And the other player, obviously of note, that got the return from Newcastle was Callum Wilson. 2 goals in his first 3 games. Again, it's kind of what you expect from Wilson. He's clinical. Did go off with a bit of a knock, but I think it was very much precautionary when they took him off. Obviously got the international break, hasn't been called up for England, so he's got a bit of a rest, and I fully expect him to be back come game week 4.
Yeah, great striker. You know what you're getting, but obviously there's a risk. Like Antonio, like Ings.
Yeah. Well, exactly. They all fall into that same category, don't they?
They do, hamstrings.
Yeah. All right, then. Moving on to the next game. And I actually thought it was going to be a lot easier for the away team, but it became quite a tricky fixture. It was Norwich 1, Leicester 2.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise. result this one. Obviously, Barnes owners had held him for this fixture. That's probably why they started with Barnes.
Don't
And
fucking start.
yeah, did not produce in this game at all. Much to their dismay, I imagine he'll drop at least once, maybe twice
He's
over this
yeah.
national break.
I don't know what to do with him. It's frustrating. I've obviously got him. He's dropped down to 6.4, and it's one of those situations that I have other potential fires or people that I want to bring in. Do I hold Barnes given after game week 4 their fixtures are quite nice again? And it's frustrating because I know full well it'll be the situation like you sell a player and then they score in the next round. So I've got a decision to make there. But one decision that I think we all went against at the start of the season, mainly down to price, to be honest, was Jamie Vardy. But once again, got himself a goal and an assist in this one, 12-pointer.
Yeah, can't stop delivering. So reliable. I'm wondering when he's going to slow down because he just keeps going season after season.
Yeah, it's all those Red Bulls, mate. He's never going to slow down.
No, 3 of them.
And then obviously on Norwich's side, I think the joke has been about the fact that they play Arsenal, who are bottom of the league, in the next game. Will you be bringing in Timo Pukki to captain him?
I won't. If he's wanted to, I'd love. If I didn't give a shit, I'd chuck him in. But even though I'm quite low down, I'm not going to kill my team off just yet.
Go on, do it. Do it.
No.
All right, and obviously a game in which most of us have got their star striker up next. It was West Ham 2, Crystal Palace 2.
Yeah, painful one for me. Hiding behind the sofa. I don't own Antonio. I bought Benrahma in, so I was hoping that would cover me. It didn't.
No.
Antonio getting fed by Cresswell, or just himself, to be honest, scoring a great goal again, doing his. I think was it his chicken celebration, or was it actually for?
Yeah,
No,
it was a pigeon. Yeah, I was going to say, listening to the Planet FPL pod. I think Suj spoke about it, and yeah, there was this pigeon that was on the pitch for the majority of the game. I thought it was a chicken celebration until I heard that podcast. And
yeah, I listened to the same pod. So
exactly. There you go. So yeah, for all those listeners that haven't, apparently it was because this pigeon wouldn't fuck off, and just sat at the corner flag, came on the pitch, and that's why he did it.
Fair enough.
Obviously, Antonio's been called up for Jamaica in this international break, but I'm led to believe that he's actually only going to play the one game for them, and he's not going to play the other 2. So he should be fine for game week 4. He doesn't have to comply with COVID protocols, which we forgot to touch on with Aston Villa. Obviously, Buendia and Martinez miss game week 4 because of the COVID protocols, because they've been called up for Argentina. They're playing 2 games, flying back, and yeah, they've got to sit in isolation in a hotel for 10 days.
Yeah, I mean, it makes Chelsea, Lukaku appealing.
Yeah, very much so. Game week 4 is going to be tasty for Chelsea, I think.
Oh, definitely. And then on the other side, we've obviously got Palace with Conor Gallagher surprising pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, tell me about it. Another one of those that's 5.5 million, gets himself 2 goals against West Ham. Took them both very well.
Yeah, great finishes. If you want them to do something a bit different, then you could think about him. But they do have a very tough run.
Yeah,
they're
you say tough. Their fixtures are horrendous until game week 10. It's not what you'd want to see if you were Patrick Vieira, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
All right, and obviously just touched on Chelsea there. They're the next game up. It was a really good game to start with, and then one big decision kind of turned it, but it ended up being Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1.
Yeah, the controversial pen and the sending off of James affected the game, but in credit to Chelsea, after that penalty was scored, they did defend pretty well. Obviously, they kept themselves in the game, got the draw, and yeah, they've been defensively pretty solid so far this season. But the decision ultimately was made because it was a goal scoring opportunity.
Yeah, no, exactly. I personally questioned it to start with, but yeah, the rules are there. It's a goal scoring opportunity. He's prevented it from going in, and rightly, penalty was given and he was sent off. Obviously, you mentioned earlier that you sold Kai Havertz. What a header that was.
Yeah, brilliant header. This is obviously his toughest fixture on paper. sort of for the start of the season. So I thought, well, I'll ditch him now. He's done nothing for the first two. And then obviously he sticks the knife in. I mean, he's a great player, so I wouldn't say I'd not go back to him at some point. If particularly game week 7, obviously, if I
Yeah.
don't get Lukaku, then Havertz would be a great pick as well.
Yeah, that game
Great.
week 7 switch is incredible. Obviously, their fixtures after that: Southampton, Brentford, Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley.
Just screams goals, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're going to want triple Chelsea, surely, like one defensively and potentially two going forward. It wouldn't surprise me to see most teams either at least bring in a Chelsea player as part of their wild card now, or build towards that game week 7 of having triple Chelsea.
No, agreed.
And then on the other side, obviously, we've got Liverpool. And again, another one of the big debates was Bruno or Salah. And if you were either, most probably would have gone Bruno as the choice. Salah was the one that returned, obviously, got the penalty after the controversy, took it well. And they pressed and pressed, but couldn't really break down that Chelsea defence in the second half. But yeah, Salah comes away with a goal, 3 bonus points in a game that most probably didn't expect him to return.
No, very impressive for him. But he's seen a price drop, rather surprisingly. People probably going to be trying to make way for Ronaldo.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's one of those decisions that we're going to have to make, aren't we?
Yeah, we certainly are.
All right then, jumping on to the Sunday games, and first things first, it was Burnley 1, Leeds 1.
Not quite what I expected from Leeds in this game. I was hoping for a little bit more. Obviously, they did very well last season, beat them by, I think, about 4 goals. Not so easy this time around. Burnley have looked a lot more solid at the back this season. They've been pressing a lot more. Very impressed with Burnley against Liverpool, and they did the same sort of work here.
They did, yeah. It was that defensive solidity. I mean, some of the challenge that they were putting in, pushed the boundaries a little bit. We can see there that they've picked up 4 yellow cards, but they did a job on Leeds, and they took the lead. Chris Wood kind of deflected the ball past Meslier, and it took Leeds a long time before Patrick Bamford did a very similar thing, and obviously deflected the ball past Pope. But you wouldn't have argued it if Burnley had won this game 1-0.
No, it came late for Leeds, which will be great for Bamford owners. But yeah, they made a good performance, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously Leeds have got Liverpool next, but after that, they're another one of those clubs that the fixtures really turn. And yeah, Newcastle, West Ham, Watford, Southampton, Wolves, Norwich. It's a good looking run, and I can see why a lot of people are looking at, say, Rafinha, for instance. In the transfer window, they brought in Dan James. Does that mean that Rafinha moves more centrally? If it does, so many people are going to be going on him.
Oh yeah, definitely. It makes him appealing. That the pace of Dan James is going to create chances.
Yeah.
Going to get ahead in behind defenses.
Exactly. I think he wasn't really a Man United player, but Leeds chased him before United signed him, and I can see why they've gone back for him, because he's very much a Bielsa kind of man. The work rate, the pace. I think he's going to cause teams some real problems in that system.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great fit for them.
And obviously the other big talking point in the transfer window was the fact that Harry Kane did not sign for Manchester City, declared that he's staying with Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously got his start in this game. I saw quite a lot of people bringing him in, and he didn't return. It ended up being Spurs 1, Watford 0.
No, he didn't, and he didn't look particularly great in the game. Whereas Son, on the other hand, impressed. He scored a fantastic goal from pretty far out. I think he just fooled the keeper. I think
Backman should be doing better.
I don't know how he doesn't really properly dive for it at all.
No, he doesn't. That's definitely a keeper error in my opinion. But Son got his goal, and you captained him, didn't you?
I did, so I was absolutely loving life.
But again, it was another 1-0 win for Spurs, another solid defensive performance. So obviously we speak about the likes of, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, but is it about time that we start to look at Sanchez, Dyer and Reguilon, as defensive options? And Spurs' fixtures are are actually pretty decent, in periods. So 4.5, I think it's 4.6 now for Eric Dyer. Still a very good price when you compare the fact that we started with Ben White. We haven't got anything out of him. Had you started with Eric Dyer, you've got 3 clean sheets in the back.
Yeah, very impressive to start from them at the back. Credit to Nuno, he's got them well organised.
Agreed, yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly potentially, Kane could do with this international break, going away with England, maybe bagging a couple of goals. Bit of confidence coming back, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly he gets the ball rolling in the Premier League.
Yeah, it will.
As for Watford, I think the main asset you've already really spoken about him earlier was Sarr. I think Watford's fixtures again are kind for the next 3 or 4 weeks. If you are looking for a bit of a differential there, you could even look at Emmanuel Dennis. Played again, so there are options. And yeah, he got another 90 minutes for Watford. So what, 5.2 for a forward? If you are only looking to play 2 up top, no reason why you can't have Dennis as a third playing bench option. In some of these games, you'd probably even play him.
Yeah, I mean, Watford looked pretty good in this game. They were definitely in the game. They started very well, actually. Sissoko looked good.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. Why not look at some of these options?
Exactly. There are plenty of cheap alternatives out there. And then the final game of the week, and obviously the big talking point was the fact that CR7 did indeed sign for Manchester United after rumours to be going to, Man City. Seems like the likes of Rio Ferdinand got in his ear, told him you can't fucking go to the other side. And here he is. He's signed for Man United. He's obviously gone away with Portugal. He'll be back and probably in time to play that Newcastle game. But in this fixture, it was Wolves 0, Man United 1.
Yeah, another strong performance from Wolves. Pretty much everyone that's watched Wolves has been pretty impressed and sort of surprised, really, with how they've been playing.
Yeah.
Keeper in particular has been pretty solid, making a lot of good saves in games. He's only 5 million. So with Wolves' decent set of fixtures coming up, a lot of people on wildcards are looking at their players, and I can see why.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, yeah, 4, 5, 6, and 7, I think are quite nice fixtures. And they've also got a really nice run from game week 11 to 14. Generally, I think all the way up till December, Wolves' fixtures are quite comfortable defensively. So yeah, you're right to probably note the likes of Sarr. Obviously, you've got Kilman, you've got Cody. I think wildcard teams in particular are going to be looking to have at least one of these Wolves assets in there. And I don't blame them. But if I was a Wolves fan, I'd be a little bit frustrated because, yeah, we're not the only ones to say how good Wolves have been, but it's the third 1-0 loss in a row.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not converting their chances. Their stats are through the roof, but the likes of Traore are just not burying the chances they should be.
No.
And if he could put some of these away, he'd be an absolute bargain at 6 million.
Oh, God, yeah. If that man could finish, he'd be probably one of the most dangerous assets in the Premier League.
Yeah, easily.
And obviously on Man United's side, Raphael Varane started, got himself an assist for Greenwood. I thought it was a very assured performance from Varane, and he's inevitably going to improve them defensively.
Yeah, massive bit of quality. The sort of signing that United fans have been crying out for years in terms of a good defender. It's like akin to Liverpool signing Van Dijk. I think it's that much of a kind of statement, signing that kind of elite defender. I think it could definitely put them up there. It's gonna help them no end at the back, increase the amount of clean sheets they're gonna have.
Yeah, agreed. I've been very, very impressed, and obviously David De Gea made some exceptional saves in this game. I think that shirt is his at the moment. Obviously, with Henderson missing out the start of season from COVID, a lot of us thought that he might be the one to start the season, but David De Gea has taken his chance, proved more than his worth in this game, and it would take a very brave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to drop him when Henderson returns. Good to see your cat on the stream, by the way.
Yeah, she's back. Yeah, and so's De Gea. Great saves in this game. Made, I think, about 5 saves, and yeah, hopefully it can continue, because it's a shame to see his sort of confidence fall like it had done. Obviously being dropped for Henderson, but yeah, fair play to him.
Exactly, and the fact that he's only 5 million as well. We spoke about in pre-season. You can pick up a Man United goalkeeper for 5 million. It's probably unheard of. Their fixtures aren't particularly great until I think it's game week 15. Yeah, beginning of December. That is when you want to jump on Man United defensively, because it is just a sea of green all the way through till the end of February from that point. If David De Gea still has his spot and say Rafael Varane, I'd probably go for the double up, to be honest, because yeah, looking at those fixtures, there's clean sheets in there constantly.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they're coming.
And the impact of CR7, I guess we should briefly touch on it. I don't want it to see it negatively impact the likes of Mason Greenwood, because I think CR7 is inevitably going to be that forward man, isn't he? He's going to fill that number 9 role. So will Greenwood hopefully just push out, maybe out wide? See, with Dan James going, the spot is there for probably Greenwood and Sancho, but then you've got Rashford as well. It's how they fit all of these players into one system.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I feel like Greenwood might drop down to the bench again and then come on as an impact sub.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's difficult to say at this stage. But what it is very exciting to see Ronaldo back in the Premier League.
Yeah, oh, big time. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. He's going to be a different player, isn't he, to what we were
He
used
is.
to? But
He is. And is he going into your team?
probably. The fact that they play Newcastle at home, basically, surely he's captaincy. Like, we know the type of man he is. Yeah, he's 36 years old, but all the studies show that he's basically got the fitness and body of a 26-year-old. He's gonna score goals. That has got, back at Old Trafford, re-emerging in the Premier League. It's got Ronaldo hat-trick all over it, surely.
Yeah, no, I'd expect him to come back with a bang. And the fear of not owning him is extreme. Like and also nostalgia. I think it just makes me want to get him. I'll be happy seeing Ronaldo in my team.
Exactly. And obviously at the moment I've got Bruno, so I've got the decision there that I'm probably going to have to downgrade Bruno to someone, maybe a Rafinha, to then upgrade, say, a Danny Ings, who's probably the most likely to go out of my 3 forward players, to a Cristiano Ronaldo. And we now know he's obviously 12.5 million. It's one of those prices that you're going to have to make sacrifices elsewhere to get him in.
Oh, you are, and I will have to. Thankfully, I can do it without actually taking a hit. I've got 2 transfers.
Likewise.
I can downgrade Van Dijk to a 4.1.
Well,
and then upgrade Ings.
If you don't already have Timo Livramento, there you go. That's the perfect downgrade, mate.
Yeah, him or Duffy are the 2 I'm looking at.
I'd probably stay away from Duffy personally, only because I genuinely believe that with Veltman back, I think Duffy out of the back 3 of Dunk, Webster, and Duffy, he's probably the one to miss out.
Potentially, but I feel like that might be his place now to lose. Like, I think he's been playing quite well.
He has, yeah. It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, I think out of the 2, I think Livramento for me is probably the more nailed. But yeah, we'll see.
Said that at the start of the season.
No, you definitely wouldn't. Well, talking about our teams, then, do you want to jump onto how you got on this week, mate?
Yeah, let's do it. So, a very good week for me. The first week that I've actually done well. 77 points.
Tidy.
Got a clean sheet from Dinya. 8 points from Wan-Bissaka. A captaincy success in Son. Buendia on 10. Salah on 10. Tony getting 6 points. Bamford on 8. Very good week all round, and saw me up a massive rise from about 4.1 million to 2.4.
Yeah, I didn't want to come on to your start and how difficult it's been for you, but it was good to see. To be fair, I didn't want to see me 70 odd points ahead of you already 3 game weeks in, so it's nice to see you claw back at least 13 of those.
Yeah, we got to make it interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, again, I had a pretty good week. I had 64 points in the end. Similar to you, that United clean sheet. I got Luke Shaw, Salah, Bamford, Antonio captaincy, and a Danny Ings with the assist there. So yeah, 64 points takes me to 252 overall, and I'm sitting at 79k. So I can't complain, given at this stage last season I was about 3.1 million. So it's nice to have a good start for once.
No, yeah, decent start, something to build on.
exactly. Obviously, we're now in the international break period, so I don't think we're going to look at game week 4 just yet because next week we've got a special guest coming on to particularly talk about Newcastle because he's an avid Newcastle fan. He's been through it all with the club, and it'll be interesting to get his views on the current ownership. We're all aware in the media of what's going on, the kind of players in and around the club, and where he genuinely sees the club going. But we're not going to give away a name just yet. We'll allow him to introduce himself next week. But I think we'll probably then touch on game week 4 towards the end of that and get our opinions on captaincy and whatnot because there's an international break to enjoy and injuries can happen, can't they?
They certainly can, and yeah, I'm looking forward to having the guest on.
Absolutely. So I think that's a good place to end the podcast, James. I sincerely hope people have enjoyed the show. Once again, apologies it's a day late, but hopefully you've got something out of it nonetheless. To end the show, as always, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Cheers, guys.